Good morning and welcome to the Demo Days. It's great to have you with us. Thanks for watching. Aebi Schmidt, if we add up the years of experience of our meanwhile 10 brands in the group, we come to over 1,400 years. The origin of our product dates back to 1857. Today, the Aebi Schmidt Group is a global player, manufactures in 14 plants across the globe, and has around 3,000 employees. We are driven day in, day out to develop intelligent and reliable solutions and to deliver a first-class service, ultimately to enable our customers to optimize their performance and improve. And the outcome of that ambition we'd like to present to you today. In the next 45 minutes, we will share here live from Lahr Airport the latest developments in the area of our products for airports. And sure, you'll be interested to know where exactly we stand on the road to autonomous operations. The machines have already been passed and get ready. And next to me stand Theresia Winkler-Flügel, Product Manager Airport, and Andreas Schwald, Head Special Clients and Key Accounts. Before Theresia and Andreas now take over, one note. If you have a question, you can put that question live. On the lower end of your video screen, you have a speech bubble. Click on that speech bubble and post whatever you're interested in. We try to answer the questions live during the session, and if not, you'll get a response either way after the event. In case you don't see the speech bubble on your video screen, log off on the top right and log in again, delivering your company name and the email address. Without these two data, the system couldn't work. So, enough for the introduction. Now it's getting really exciting. Andreas, will you take over, please?
Thank you, Thomas. I will take over, yes, and also a warmly welcome from our side. And it's a pleasure to have you here on site or online. So we want to present today out of our complete airport product range the latest updates of 3 products. So first of all, the AS990 with the possibilities of all-round year usage of this machine. And then second, the CGS, our compact jet sweeper, with a wider brush system with more efficiency, up to 20% more efficiency. And then we have 2 TGS 630, where we want to show the latest version of autonomous drive we have on these machines. But I think first of all we want to start now with the AS990. Theresia, would you like to start with it?
Sure, thank you, Andreas. Thank you for the introduction as well. A warm welcome from my side. And I'm also happy to show you the AS990 as a starter right now, and then we'll see the rest. So, let's start right in the front. Like the AS990, I have to mention it is a great machine. It does do a wonderful performance, and that's due to safety and technique. And basically, it's possible to use it in the summertime as well as in the wintertime. We have multiple options with this machine. And I would suggest that we now start right in the front with the permanent magnetic bar, which we do show a short insert of. The video tells you like how good the performance of this permanent magnetic bar is. So Andreas, do you want to speak a little bit about the video which we see about the permanent magnetic bar now?
Yeah, the permanent magnet bar is an important part of the runway sweeper. Already in the beginning we can pick up metals or magnetic parts when we are starting sweeping on the airport, and that's important for FOD pick up. And Yeah, the permanent magnet bar has a width of 2.4 meters, and the permanent magnet bar will be lowered to a certain fixed distance over the surface, and then can pick up all these magnetic parts in front of the machines, so that the rest of the machine can concentrate on the sweeping part of the rest of dirt or other things which we clean up then with the airport sweeper. But I think that's enough from the permanent magnet bar. I think we switch over to the sweeping unit. Theresia, would you like to tell us a bit more about
sure,
the
thank you,
sweeping
Andreas.
unit?
We'll move to the sweeping unit. So now what you can see here, it's the disc brushes right there. And if you flap out the disc brushes to the right and left-hand side, it's possible to reach a working width of 3.5 meters with the AS990. And in case we use an ASC990, which is used for stand cleaning on airports, we have the possibility in combination with water and detergent to scrub the runway or like the aircraft stand areas where there might be any oil or dirt leakages, and those could be taken away just like as you would wash dishes in your sink at home. And so this way we have the great possibility to use the disc brushes for scrubbing. Then the second part, which we can see here, that's actually the blower unit. And the blower unit, that's a great function as well. For like the summertime, you can use it to blow grass away or like small leaves in the fall. And then, of course, we have the possibility to use it for like blowing away powder, snow, if you wish. And then you can lift and lower it hydropneumatically, as well as change the direction to the left or to the right-hand side. So it's possible to blow underneath the complete machine. You will be blowing over the entire working width of the machine, and that's a great function. But Andreas, I think between the axles, that's most what we see here right now. Maybe we could move on to the tanks and the engine and so on.
Yeah, thank you, Theresia. Yeah, we have in front of the hopper, we have a water tank, which we can see here. With 2,000 liter as a standard tank, but we can also extend this water volume up to 4,000 liter with an additional tank. And we have with the ASC 990, the so-called stand cleaner version, also the possibility with 3,000 liter water and an additional detergent tank of 700 liter, which we can use then for clean up oil leakage or kerosene leakages on the airport. So that's a good solution with different water tanks. With the engines, we use a Euromod 5 engine with the newest emission regulations in Europe, but we can also have a Euromod 3A engine for countries where they have lower standards of the engine usage. So that is a part of the tank system, water system, and the engines. Theresia, would you explain a bit more the multifunctional solutions of the AS990 which we have with the different suction unit for summer usage, but also for winter usage when it comes to de-icing suck up? Yeah?
Sure, Andreas. Thank you. We'll look into the standard rear suction unit now. So what we see here is the standard rear suction unit. It does have two tubes which are, let's say, putting the dirt or sucking the dirt right into the hopper, which is 9.5 cube cross volume. And basically with this standard rear suction unit, we can of course pick up any dirt that is like on the airport. We can pick up water, and it does have like a roller brush in the rear, and this roller brush basically moves the dirt to the front. And right in front of the suction unit, we of course do have like water nozzles, and the water nozzles, they support the dust and being moved into the hopper. And basically, if there's like a lot of dust, the water helps to just move the dirt into the hopper. And of course, besides the standard rear suction unit, we do have a liquid suction unit. And the liquid suction unit, you can quickly exchange it with a quick hitch solution against the standard rear suction unit. And then you can pick up water or, for example, glycol, which is actually used for aircraft de-icing in the wintertime. And that liquid suction unit does have approximately 96% efficiency rate. And with this efficiency rate, you basically can put a tissue on the surface and then the tissue is more or less dry. So what we also can do is that instead of the blower unit here, we can also move a liquid suction unit in front of the rear axle right here. And then we do have a possibility to use the standard rear suction unit as well as the liquid suction unit in front. And that would give us the possibility to switch between standard dirt and, of course, liquids during operation as required. Andreas, I think that's all about the suction units for the moment and the multifunctional use of the AS990. I would suggest that we have a look at the video insert of the Wonder Hose in the rear. And I think you'll talk about the video insert in a sec.
Exactly, yeah. Let us move to the rear of the machine, to the hopper. In the meantime, we can see the video insert of the Wonder Hose of the AS990. We have here a Wonder Hose which we can use for gully cleaning or for certain spots where the machine cannot move. And with this Wonder Hose you can easily handle the cleanup of these special areas. I think this is the main things we have for the AS990. So I think we can finalize it and go ahead with the CGS.
Sure. Yeah. And I will thank Udo now. Udo, thank you for showing the AS990. You can move on. And then, of course, Markus will come up with the CGS, and then he'll be the next machine right here. And prior to Udo and Markus leaving, of course, we will have the video insert about the control panel, because all those airport machines, they do have a new control panel. So on the video insert right now, we do see the old control panel, how it looked like. And with the new control panel for all the machines, we, of course, can control the major and important functions of the central, in a central location. And we do have a color display, which shows all the functions and shows like the machine positions. And it's an optimized display, which makes it really easy for the operator to control whatever is needed during operation. And the most important topic is we did integrate a mode selector switch, which also makes us prepared for autonomous drive. So we do have a transport manual working position as well as an automated working position. So yeah, Andreas, I think we'll start with the CGS now.
Yeah, for sure. So we have here the CGS, our compact jet sweeper. And the highlight on this machine we have today is a wider brush. So we have, and a wider plow for sure, which fit together. So we have in front of the machine a snow plow with 6.4 meter and a brush of 4.9 meter. So with this wider system, we can have a more efficiency of the machine of up to 20%. But we have the same compact version of the jet sweeper as before, which means the maneuverability of the machine is the same as before. And this is really a benefit of this machine. But I think we start in general in front of the machine with the snowplow Theresia could you tell us a bit more about the details of the snowplow, please?
Sure, thank you, Andreas. I'll start with the snowplow. So what we do see here, it's an MS64 multi-sectional snowplow, 6.4 meters long. And with this sectional snowplow here, you can see the sections, like right here. So basically those sections support us to actually ride over or to cross obstacles and still keep the great performance with our snowplow, because then we only cross obstacles in the specific segments where we basically cross them, and all the other blades will stay on the ground. What do we have with the snowplow? It's actually a new generation. It's weight reduced, so that's also why we can increase the broom, because with the weight reduced snowplow we do now have the possibility to put a larger snowplow on the same machine, and that's also why we can put a larger broom on the machine. And basically, besides the weight reduction, we of course increased like the lifting device. We increased it, we changed it and optimized it. And of course, we do have a short distance, so we do have a low center of gravity, and that of course supports also the great functionality of the machine. And what I have heard yesterday, the plow is really stable and the customers really liked the performance of the snowplow. So lifting, lowering, all of that. And that's also what's important to know. We have like one less plow share in order to reduce the weight. Andreas, do we have like options which you want to mention today?
Yeah, for sure we have different options on the snowplow. What I can mention, we have a fine cutting edge behind the normal cutting edge, which brings additional performance in clearing the snow from the runway. This will help later on for the brush cleaning. That's an important option. And also what is possible, so-called injection barriers on each side, which you can close the plow and you can keep the snow in the plow. For example, when you drive over exits or you want to push the snow to a certain area, so that is really helpful. And yeah, it's also a relief system integrated in the plow that you can buy as an option, so that the whole machine is better balanced. And that are the main options, only the three main options which we can recommend on the snowplow. I think that's enough for the plow, Theresia. I think we move to the brush system, where we can show our proven system on the brush.
Perfect. Thank you, Andreas. Sure, I'll explain the brush to you now. So with the brush that we see here, it does have like a front snow deflector, as we call it, and the front snow deflector supports a smooth performance of the snow to the side. It guides basically the snow to the side, and that's also what helps you to have the snow as close as possible to the ground without like any spillage to like the driver's cap or anything. Then what you can see here, it's basically the poly crystals. We of course do have the options of steel or a mixed material, so whichever you prefer on your specific airport, that's possible. Like with the broom, of course, we do have the automatic brush pattern adjustment, which makes sure that the brush pattern always stays stable over the complete working width. And then we have a great option as well, the wear-dependent brush speed control. And with the wear-dependent brush speed control, we have the chance to actually, depending on how quick the machine goes, the brush rotating speed will be adjusted accordingly with this great option. And what we do see here with our lifting device right there, we have a parallel lifting device, which you can see like right there in the middle. And with that specific device, the movement of the brush will be disconnected from like the machine movements, which is also a great functionality and helps us to stay flat on the ground without like any performance risks. Then what we do have here behind, we do have the twin caster wheels in the rear, and the twin caster wheels in the rear. They, of course, smoothly support the performance of the plow and guide the plow on the runway areas. Yeah, Andreas, I think that's basically what we do speak about the broom right now. And then I would suggest that we go to the rear of the machine.
Yeah, the last part of the machine is a blower unit, which is also important to get the last snow and also the liquids out of the surface to have in the end a dry surface on the runway or on all surfaces at the airport. We have our blower unit in the end of the machine. One reason is for it that we want to keep a short wheelbase to have this high maneuverability of the machine. But on the other hand, it's also good to have the blower unit in the end, that all parts which can fall down, snow and things like that from the machine between brush and blower unit, that will be blowing away. And yeah, why is our blowing performance so good? One reason for it is we have a directly airstream. We have the fan here directly, which goes down to the blower unit. So this means the direct airstream to the surface brings us this high performance, and that is what our customers always says to us. Your brush system and your blower system is a really high performance usage possible. Yeah. So I think that was the main things on the CGS, and we can switch over to the next part with our TGS 630 and with the autonomous solution.
So perfect, Andreas. I'll just inform the drivers. Markus, thank you very much for your support. You can leave now. And now we will see the two TGSs coming in. Until we are starting, we are quickly explaining you a little bit about the like machines in general, and then I think we'll focus on the 3 steps of autonomous drive. So now Simon and Florian are coming in, and then of course we will see the machines in a sec, automated once they are leaving again. Florian, ich würde sagen, du kannst hier mal anhalten. So now, Andreas, I think you'll quickly speak a word about the machines, and after we will see the video insert of the 3 steps towards autonomous drive.
Yeah, we see here 2 TGS 630 with 8-meter brush and 6.3 meter brush system. So that is the main version which will be used on runways for clearing the runways, and but the main part today is to show on these 2 machines what we have done on automized system for these machines. And I would explain a bit the 3 steps we have. So we have developed a concept with 3 steps that we can step by step develop a system beginning from step 1 with a driver assistance system, where we have the possibility to guide the drivers on the machine, up to step 2 with a semi-automation version, where we have already automized system where the brush, the blower and the plow automized is working. And then in the end to step 3, where we have an autonomous system where the driver can go out of the machine and the machine can drive itself with no additional driver on it. But I think, Theresia, you are highly involved in this project, development projects with all the tests we have done. Can you explain us a bit more in detail about this system where we have?
Sure, thank you, Andreas. I'll quickly start with the driver assistance system, which we have seen in the video insert right now. So basically, with the video, you have seen that there is a display in the cabin, and in the cabin the driver then can see like where he would be on the airport and what he does have to do at a specific point in time. So the goal is actually to reduce any errors by being in the wrong position at the wrong time. And with this system we definitely can optimize the operation. So like on the display in the cab, the driver can see specific geo events, which means the activities that the machine does have to do with the plow, brush and blower at a specific time. And then of course speed limits could be integrated, and then we could integrate specific working areas. And so with that the driver also sees the airport map and sees the exits and sees where he needs to turn and so on. Which greatly supports operation, what we also have received as a great feedback of our airports. In addition, we do have for all the 3 steps the web editor tool, which is a wonderful tool, cloud-based. And this cloud-based tool supports in specific what you also can see on the video insert right now. The cloud web editor supports the winter maintenance manager to see where the machines are, and the winter maintenance manager with this web editor tool can deploy machines. He can choose routes for the machines, and of course the winter maintenance manager or winter operation manager on airports can decide like where he wants to have speed limits, where he wants to have the routes adjusted. He can also like straighten route segments and so on. So like with the web editor tool, he does have an overview of the machines, where they are, and also which machine status we have. So like if everybody is in correct operation performance, if the plow, brush and blower is moved to the right side and so on. So that's the web editor, which we do have available for all the 3 steps. Now we'll be moving to the video insert of the dynamic route adjustment. And as you can see on the video insert of the dynamic route adjustment, it supports, of course, increased efficiency on runways, because it helps you as an airport to actually like always be back to blacktop in one pass without like any gaps or anything, because the machines, as soon as like the first machine, for example, deviates from the route, of course the second machine will follow, and so they always will be like in a great performance and overlap, of course. And the overlap, that is like one really important topic during operation. So that's basically also if a machine deviates, the other machines will be informed in real time over the air. So it will be in milliseconds and the route will be adjusted. And yeah, what also is really helpful, the winter maintenance operation manager can then specifically adjust the performance and the routes. But Andreas, I think we now go into the feedback of the customers and talk a little bit about our partners and so on prior to getting the machines ready for the autonomous preparation.
Yeah, our customers are extremely interested in this solution. So the airports has more and more, for the airport is it more and more difficult to get people for these jobs, and with this solution it's easy to work more efficiency and to reduce this part, but also they have year by year changes on driver, and it's much easier to drive such a system if you have a driver assistance system. So all in all, this is a part which the airports really look for. And so we are working close together with different airports in Scandinavia and in Germany. And we have especially also a development project, so-called Smart Fleet, where we are working together with Airport Stuttgart. And this is the main project where we can work together with airports, but also with other airports. We are doing exchanges that we exactly know what our customer needs, and that the development goes in the right direction, what our customers' demands are. So I think this is what I can say as a feedback from our customers, but I think we should go ahead with showing our machine now.
Sure, perfect, Andreas. Yeah, I think you can have the machine started once we are quickly talking about the routes and how they are actually tracked and recorded. So basically, in the last video insert that we do see now, you can see how the operators can record the routes, and at this point of time, any route that we want to use, they are recorded by a driver or an operator prior to being used. So on the video insert, we have seen how the route is recorded and how the machine has done it and how it's tracked. And once it's tracked and saved, of course, it will be available to any machine that does use the system. And the driver will see on his display the possibility to choose the route. So it's in real time over the air, available for all machines once recorded. And now for the autonomous drive here, or for the automated drive that we do see in a minute, the drivers are just momentarily preparing. They have set the parking brake. They're choosing the route now. And once the route is selected, they of course will select the automatic starting button. And with the automatic starting button, they have the possibility to deactivate the parking brake. And then you can actually see in a sec in the video, which is really great. That's at least the feedback we have received of our first customers yesterday. And they actually said that it's a challenge to actually take the hands off and lean back if you're not used to. But it takes a while, I have to say. I have tested that myself during the project. But it's actually a great feeling as well to know that the machine can do whatever it needs to do, which greatly supports, as Andreas also mentioned, the operation, and of course reduces the training for airports for winter maintenance preparation quite a lot. So I think we'll have the machine started now. I'll just quickly or Andreas, yeah. Just yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, sure.
So colleagues, Florian, Simon, please let us start.
So I think they'll start in a minute. Oh, Simon has to activate his camera right now. And he's actually moving to the co-driver seat. As you can see on the camera, it's actually live right now. So we'll be ready in a sec. And once Simon has positioned himself on the co-driver seat, you can see the machines running. I guess I'll get moving out of the way here, Andreas. I guess we have to move out.
You can see now no driver on the driver's seat on the second machine. So, and they start now.
First machine, of course, Florian is also taking hands off, leaning back and getting in a comfortable position. And Simon, as you can see here on the second machine right now, sitting on the co-driver seat because he's a little bit longer in the project. And so, of course, he's also a little bit more experienced with the technique of the machine. He's actually our R&D person who develops with our partners the machine. So he's greatly relying on the technique as well at the moment. And it's a wonderful system. But Andreas, I think we can move to the next step, and I see Thomas coming up.
Yeah, now we can see the machines are driving to the end of the taxiway. So now we can change to the Q&A, and Thomas is coming with a table to us that we can check what questions are coming when we presented the machine, and we are curious about the questions from the customer. So let's see what Thomas will bring us in a minute.
Yeah, it always is highly interesting. I think yesterday we had really wonderful questions, and I think it also helped the audience to understand the system a bit better. And I think today also what's maybe one last point which I can mention at this time here, prior to Thomas coming up, our system of course builds on top of each other. So as soon as you start to buy the driver assistance system, you then can move on to the supervised automated drive, and then in the end to the full autonomous drive. And we can support you there, and how to get the machines prepared for the 3 steps. So I think that's also a wonderful option we have. And yeah, if you do have any questions there, or if you do want to drive the machines later on, of course feel free to join us, and we'll be ready to pick you up and have you drive with the machines as you are interested in. Now, I guess we'll hand over to Thomas.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Andreas. You were quick this morning. That means that everything is running smoothly. So that's very good news. Let's briefly check what type of questions we had. I see 18 questions. That's quite a lot. First one from David. Can a CJS be equipped with the driver assistance system?
I can answer this, yeah. Yes, for sure, yeah. So you have seen in our fleet, we have 2 TGS, which were automized, but also the 2 other machines, the CGS and the AS990, has already this driver assistance system. And this system is not only a test system, this is a system which already is available on the market, and we sold already units to different airports. So this is available, yes, and we can fit it to these machines. And additionally, we can also fit it to different other machines, not from us. So if a customer has a mixed fleet, so we can also use this driver assistant on that machines.
That would actually be another question with, oh, I see, a lady. It's very,
nice.
not very common in our business, but Marge was asking, does the Aebi Schmidt system work on other machines? You just said, yes, it does.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So this was the second question, yeah.
That's good news for all those having whatever other equipment in their fleet already. Another one is from Michael Michel, I don't know how to pronounce that. Until which age can I retrofit the driver assistance system?
Yeah, that's a good question now. Yeah,
so
I think the age of the machine, of course, most likely not the person's age. But yeah, of course, that's a nice question. So we did mention that we can retrofit the system to existing machines, and also we did test it, and we did have, like for example on the airport Stuttgart, we do have the experience that we can retrofit the system back to machines which are at least around 10 years old. Of course, we have to check the specific machine and the specific the specific situation of the machine with our system, but we can always retrofit it similar to the competition machines. And so it's quite easy to actually have all the older machines equipped with the driver assistance system once, let's say, new machines will be equipped or automated. And so that's quite easy. We have tested it on competition units in Scandinavia. We have tested it in Germany as well, so it works really good.
That's, again, good news also for those who care about circular economy and ecologically sustainable behavior, of course. Next one on the list is... no. there was somebody saying hi to us, so that's not really a good question. Perhaps that one a bit similar to the question before. Can you tell more on additional work for an airport to use the system?
Sure. Yeah. So if I understand the question correctly, it might be more the question towards like how long does it take to install the system, or at least I assume that it might mean that.
Yeah, me too.
So basically, we do have the experience that we retrofit a driver assistance system, for example, within 4 to 8 hours. Of course, we then also support the airport to train the people, and we do train, like, for example, the operators. We do train whoever needs to like work on the web editor, like, for example, the winter maintenance manager. We do support them how to edit the routes. We do support them like how to put speed limits and so on in. So I think usually it's like 1 to 2 days as a minimum to be calculated, but that's quite quick. And if somebody actually is still interested in buying a system, we do have some available. So we could do that quite quick, up to the winter time even.
Thanks, Theresia. Can I actually train the system on a simulator? I know that we offer a simulator for training. Can I use that one on a simulator too?
Well,
that was
of
my
course.
question. Sorry, it wasn't a question from someone.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question as well. I mean, in the end, technically, it's of course possible. We didn't test it on the simulator yet, but I mean, in combination with our control panel, we even could test it on our simulator. Yeah.
Pays them back on the issue of the staff to what you were relating earlier in the presentation.
To add something, we have, for example, sold a training simulator to Cologne Airport. They are really happy with the system to train the people. And they tested also the driver assistance system. They helped us to do tests and to give feedback. And we are in a final stage that the customer is buying or looking for it. So I think this will be anyway the next stage. When they have our machines, our driver systems, they want also to have it on a simulator. And technically, Theresia said it's possible. So, and it will be a good solution then to have it also on the simulator. So it will come, I think.
I understood it's not a question if, it's a question when. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Good. I see there were quite a few questions coming in while we were talking. So, and one of them was, where are you testing the system? Where have you been testing the system then?
Theresia, I think
Okay.
you are highly involved in this project, so that's your question.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, that's a really good question. Of course, we did plenty of tests. We started to test the system in Scandinavia. So we have tested it like with Swedavia airports in the beginning. Several airports, several systems. Then, of course, we did test it with Halmstad Airport, which is like really close to our partner CPAC. So they had access to the airport basically day and night. Then, of course, we did install the systems in Finland, and then we tested it across, let's say, Germany, and we tested it in Berlin. We tested it especially in Stuttgart, and of course, we now do some further tests here in Lahr. Of course, we're still sort of like within development, but depending on which part of the system, we do have some great testing experience. Cologne, Bonn, we mentioned earlier today. So there were quite some areas where we tested it.
Quite a lot of spots. Huh?
Exactly.
And in 2 years, it will test autonomously somewhere by itself, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point of time,
it's the
as
when,
we mentioned
it's not
before.
The if, as
Exactly.
we learned. Okay.
Yeah.
We come to the end. It's a minute before. So as we promised in the beginning of that presentation, those of you which questions we couldn't answer right now, you'll get one after the event bilaterally. Thank you very much, Theresia. Thank you very much, Andreas. Again, very valuable insights hopefully for all of you who are watching. And I'm sure there are open questions, and many reasons to take a closer look at what these solutions can really contribute to have more efficient operations, more sustainable and more safer operations. So whenever, as Theresia has said already before, get in touch with us. Aebi Schmidt is present in 17 countries with an own service and sales organizations in over 90 countries. We have established partnerships. If you go on www.aebi-schmidt.com, type in your location, and I'm sure you're going to find a contact near to you. That's about it. The presentation will be soon made available online for review in just a few days. So go back to our internet site /demo days. There you will find in the presentations in full length. And of course, we hope that you join again at 11 Central European time this morning, when it is about sweeping and more, for sure also relevant for the airports. Quite a few apron areas have to be swept, not only the runways, but certainly also for municipalities, contractors and others. So 11 p.m. next presentation. Those of you who can't join, we wish you a good rest of the day. Thanks for watching, and we hope to meet soon again. Goodbye.